Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Jason.
Bonjour and everything else that goes with it. I'm Steve.
And we are the Highwaymen, and today we are talking about our new Prime Minister, Liz Truss. But before we do, we want to say thank you to our 70 subscribers.
Brilliant.
We hit 70 last night. Thank you to the young lady who was our 70th subscriber last night. And I hope you will, if you're watching for the first time, that you're going to join in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and become part of our little family.
Lovely to see you all.
Liz Truss, come on then, Stephen, what do you think?
Well, again, here we are. We've been hoodwinked, haven't we? We're such a nation of little sheep. Meh. We've been hoodwinked again. They are so clever at managing to, do you know what? Let's forget about the entire atrocity and complete abomination that this party has managed to create in this country so far. So we've had the most inept prime minister, I think, in the history of prime ministers, perhaps even in the history of the entire bloody world. Anyway, there he was. He's made a right hash of it so badly that he's had to leave there, and we've had a new prime minister. Now here's the crack. We didn't vote for her. We never got the opportunity to say, oh, we'd like to vote for her. But no, the bumbling buffoons that make up the Conservative Party have elected her in. So she's either, I can't work out, Jay, she's either the lead buffoon and and she makes the rest of them look good. She's that bad. They all look good on the back of it. Yeah, we'll get her in. She'll make us look marvellous. Or she is the best of them, which, let's put that into perspective, is the best of a bad lot. I don't think you would go to a shop and buy a Liz Truss. I really don't. She's just, I don't know. She's kind of like the love child of, who was that dancing grandma one that we had for a little while? What was her name?
Oh, Theresa May.
You look at her. She looks like the daughter of Theresa May coupled with John Major, and I am quite sure that there's probably an element
more Michael Heseltine, I think, than John Major. I think.
But very cleverly, they've allowed us to be all excited about this and whipped into a frenzy. It's been a race, you see. It's been a race of who's going to get there, and wow, it's all jolly exciting and marvellous. And now we've got all this to look forward to. What have we got to look forward to? What? Tell me what has changed other than the puppet at the top.
Well, I will say first, I think you've just proved to the world that you don't vote Conservative.
I have though. That's the thing. My entire life, Jay, life, ever since I've been able to vote, I have always been a staunch Conservative.
Yes.
And I have looked, and you know what? I'll tell you now. I voted to leave the Brexit thing. I voted for that, and and you know, a real believer in our country. But oh my gosh, over the last 2 years, my eyes have been opened to such a degree, and I look around us, and it makes me ashamed to be British, if I'm brutally honest. And I just
you can't be ashamed to be British with all that's going on this week with the Queen. Come on.
Well, don't get me started on that.
Let's not go. So Liz Truss. So for me, so the first time I saw Liz Truss, I think it was actually when she was talking about Shamina Begum, which we're going to talk about in our next video. And I just thought she seemed to be somebody who really liked power. I just got that impression of her. So you think some politicians become politicians because they do want to make changes and make the world a better place, and some people just want to put points of power. And I see Liz, and I saw her as somebody who really, really liked power. And every time I saw her after that, all I could think of is this power-hungry kind of person. So when her name came up in the ballot, I really wasn't happy. I would have liked seeing Grant Shapps. I liked him.
Grant Shapps, yeah, he's not a bad guy. Yeah,
he seemed very down to earth. But Liz Truss, I saw some bits on her the other day, and she's got quite a kind of moderately normal background, more not dissimilar to most people, sort of a middle class background, not like one of these, rich boys club like Boris was. So she's got a little bit of background. I mean, I'm going to say let's give her a chance. I mean, to be fair, she's pulled something out of the hat very quickly with the energy crisis. And if you watch breakfast television, they've been banging on and 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 on about this energy crisis for such a long time now. And my wife gets quite, she was getting quite depressed about it. And I sort of said, this will all blow over. In another few, something else will come major into the news and we won't hear it again. And lo and behold, Liz has come in, she's come up with this plan, which we're going to pay for one way or another. You know, if the government's bailing out, the money's coming from somewhere, you're going to pay it, just not in the way you think. And obviously the Queen's died now, so it's all on the back burner. So I'm going to say my first impression of her is I don't like her. You're right, is she the best of a bad bunch? Quite possibly, but as I do think for me, there were better candidates. I like Dominic Raab as well. I thought he
like
was
Penny. I like Penny.
Yes, I like Penny as well. Yeah, I like Penny.
Yeah,
well.
I hope she would get in.
She was actually the favourite at one point.
Yeah, she was.
At one point. And so there's a few there that I was think was better offerings, but I think you've got to give her a chance. To be fair to her, no, not to be fair to her, she can't really go wrong compared to Boris. I mean,
she can't do worse, can she?
She's got to be 100. If she can do worse than Boris, then we have really sunk to an all-time low, haven't we? You know what I mean?
Nobody can.
If somebody could come across and do worse than Boris, I mean, to be honest, the only thing that could have been worse is if Theresa May had come after Boris. Then that probably would have accounted for the that's my Theresa May impression. The robot dancing Theresa May.
The worst robot in the world ever.
In the world, yeah.
I'm just going to touch, if I may.
Although, actually, can I just say that about Theresa May?
Yeah.
I saw her do a speech for the Queen. Did you see that? She was absolutely brilliant.
Did you think the one outside down is? Oh no, sorry, I didn't see the one for the King. The one on the death of the Queen.
No, it was for the Queen. When she said about she was at a party and she dropped the cheese on the floor. She said, I was at this party.
Didn't see that.
She said, I was at this party. I can't remember she was there. And I picked the cheese up and I dropped it on the floor. And she said, I had a life-changing decision to make. And everybody's like, she was just so, I mean, it doesn't sound funny now I say it, but everybody was laughing because she's kind of saying, you know, do I leave the cheese on the floor, let the dog eat it, or do I put it back up? She said, I picked it up and I put it on the table. And she said, I looked out the corner of my eye and the Queen was watching me. And she just smiled at me. And I thought the whole speech that she did showed real, she was very, whether she wrote it herself, I don't know, but it was very clever, very well humoured. And I actually thought, do you know what, Theresa May, you've gone up in my estimation from that because you did a good job. But anyway.
Oh, I like that. I do like that. If I may, Jay, if I may.
You may, sir. You may, sir.
You're a gentleman. You mentioned about how Liz has pulled this out the bag in a magic wand way to be able to alleviate the upcoming extended energy crisis. So here we are. So Mr. Cynical Pants, how do you get someone to like you? How? If you're put, you create it. So you create a problem that is not really there, but you create it, and in today's world with social media, you can whip up hysteria quite quickly. So I tell you what, oh my God, it's going to be absolutely dreadful all of your way. In fact, you're going to have to borrow money out of your house just to pay the electric bill next year because your wages won't cover it. So you create this huge thing, and then you get this person that you put into the new job. How are we going to get them to like it? I know they can now alleviate that problem that wasn't really there in the first place.
No, to be fair, the government haven't created the problem. The energy companies have created the problem. And however, we were all really upset that our energy bills were going to be 4 times as much, but now they're only going to be twice as much. We're
happy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing is, but you cannot sort of blame the government for creating the problem because they haven't. Well, you go back long enough, they sold off all the energy companies that were government owned, and but then that's a whole different ballgame.
They run the country.
Energy crisis. Watch our previous video on the energy crisis where we discuss all of this.
Yes.
Back about 3. So there you go. So Liz Truss, good or bad?
Well, it's a thumb sideways for now because but I am looking forward to the next general election so we can get the entire bunch of them out of there. And do you know what? Even Lord Sutch with the monster raving loony party, if they're still going, wouldn't do a better job. Get them in.
I think if Prince Charles sort of pushed for having the monarchy, King Charles pushed for having the monarchy rule the country completely again, I think most people would go for it the way they're feeling.
Absolutely, 100%.
We'd go back to, let's get rid of the government and just have a monarchy.
Get them gone.
Get them gone. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, they're all, I wouldn't, who would you vote? I mean, literally, would you vote for Keir Starmer?
This is what gets me, right? So the whole government issue was introduced because there were the kings and queens of the time were literally fleecing the people. Taxes were ridiculous. It wasn't right. So Oliver Cromwell and his Roundhead army. Anyway, they came up with this bloody thing, didn't they? To we'll have a government for the people, and it's now done a complete freaking 180. They're the most corrupt. It's a business. Please have no delusion. Every one of these parties is a business, and the outcome for them all is to get the most out of it that they possibly can.
Yeah, definitely.
So nothing to do with us, nothing to do with what we want. Absolute farcical. It's them for what they can gain and what they can get out of it. And
you think you get a choice, but you don't get a choice, do you? Really? Because you get two choices. You get a choice of Labour or Conservative. That's your choice.
That's it. It's appalling.
That's like you know. It's like going to a restaurant and having a full menu, and when they come around and say, well, you know, we haven't got that in stock, so we haven't got that in stock, we haven't got that in stock. Oh, okay, it's beans on toast or a hamburger then. Yeah, okay. So I haven't got a choice really. I've come to a restaurant, I think I've got 20 choices, and I've only got a choice of 2. And that's basically what it is.
That's a perfect analogy, mate.
I mean, to be fair as well, I mean, talk about Boris Johnson getting in on this landslide majority. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn. I mean, I could have won against Jeremy Corbyn. I could have stood there and said, "What are you going to do for everybody?" And I go, "Oh, I don't really know. I don't really know much about politics." Yes, you're in, mate. Yes, we're not having that twat.
That's
you're
it.
In.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't look like a scarecrow and somebody that's actually been dead for 10 years and just not fallen over.
Anti-Semitic as well, to boot. And he supported all the. Well, no, we're going off piste again. Right. Anyway, so our Prime Minister. Yes. No. Yeah, I'm going to say with you, I'm not a fan of Liz Truss. She has got a lot to prove to me personally, but however, I wasn't a fan of Daniel Craig becoming James Bond, and that turned out.
And look what happened.
So you never know.
You never know.
She could be throwing herself across the bonnet with a gun as she comes out of number 10 and change all of our minds. She could end up being the best Prime Minister ever.
She could. She could.
Doubt it very much, but you know, we will see.
I don't think I'll put my money on it, but we will see. Yes,
absolutely. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and whatever else you want to do. Run around the garden doing naked cartwheels. We don't care.
I did that earlier.
Fantastic.
Gone a bit cold now. Jake, gotta be honest.
I bet the neighbours could tell it was a bit cold as well.
Well, it was all going well till I landed in the holly bush. And yeah.
Right, see you all next time. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys. Have a great one. Bye.